Check this out. Where is it? The DOJ walks back its assertion that Capitol rioters wanted to capture and assassinate officials. Yeah, they walk it back. All right? Because it never happened. Because these people that went into the Capitol building didn't know what they were doing. They didn't. And in fact, we're catching people now that are agitators, that aren't Trump supporters. Half the people that got arrested didn't even vote for Trump and have been seen at Antifa rallies and Black Lives Matter rallies over the past 8 months. Those are the agitators. Right? So they're walking this back, but that's not going through the news media. The news media said, you know what? It's been said enough times, people believe it. We're just going to roll with it. Mitch McConnell came out and said, well, President Trump incited that violence. Mitch McConnell, I have to restrain myself a little bit from what I really want to say to you right now, because you're very wrong. And he even says, by spouting lies. What lies? Mitch McConnell, you are literally lying right now. Trump never incited violence. Not once. I'm still waiting. People keep trying to prove that he incited violence, but it usually in the same sentence of what they're posting, you know, when you add the context, it's like, oh, he's actually condemning it. Well, don't worry about it. Just read this one word. He said violence once. That's it. He's inciting it. It's ridiculous. Oh, and what's this? Oh, yeah. After investigation, Pentagon finds no plot against Biden among National Guard troops. Did you hear that, Mayor Bowser? There's no connection. These National Guardsmen are National Guardsmen for a reason, right? They want to make Trump the big bad guy. They want to make people like me shut up. They want to make people like you stop fighting against the establishment. They want to make it, they want to drive it home that nothing will ever work. I think they want violence because it'll further their cause to lock everyone down, to add up this authoritarian measures that they're doing. They would love it. Right? Am I wrong? Don't you think that if people started violence tomorrow, they're going to be like, see, we were right. We were right. They are violent. And then, of course, all Trump supporters will be condemned. I'm probably going to be on that list just simply because, even though I strongly am against violence, and I talk about it all the time, it doesn't matter. I wore a MAGA hat. Granted, it was a MAGA beanie. I don't think they know the difference, nor do they care. Classier, if you ask me. Mind you, it was made in America. I just want to say it was made in America. No plot. It was an let's read about this. The Pentagon announced Tuesday that despite an exhaustive search that involved vetting nearly 25,000 individual members of the National Guard, there was no intelligence to indicate an insider threat to President-elect Joe Biden at his swearing-in ceremony. The Pentagon did remove 2 members of the National Guard from service on Capitol Hill. However, for alleged ties to militia groups, though the Department of Defense did not give specific details on whether either soldier posed a threat to Biden's safety. And I actually was looking for that, and I couldn't find it anywhere as far as what group they were a part of, what specific things that they found. I couldn't find it. I was looking for that. Over the weekend, reports surfaced that believers in the QAnon conspiracy theory had discussed acting as National Guard soldiers in Washington to try to infiltrate President. I'm sorry, this is ridiculous. President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration, according to CNN. According to CNN. Citing the Washington Post. 2 of the most left-leaning biased news sources out there. The FBI, in an intelligence report obtained by the Post, said it monitored individuals downloading maps of sensitive areas around Washington and talking about how these locations could be utilized to penetrate security. CNN and Washington Post. I only follow those two places as a source of laughter and to see what the far left news media is saying. To do the research and see what the actual reality is. Because they are so biased. It's ridiculous. That was hilarious. The FBI was quick to note that the QAnon believers threatening Biden were likely lone wolves. All right, thank you, FBI. I agree with that. But the rumors seemed to motivate the Pentagon to engage in intense investigation, interviewing every soldier ordered to report to a post in or near the United States Capitol for potential ties to right-wing extremism. You know what? Okay. Sure, do that. Because for one, I don't think right-wing extremism is as prevalent. This is what I've been saying. White supremacy is not prevalent. It's not an all-encompassing thing about, Trump supporters or any American. I think there's a small, tiny fringe group in this country. Sure, they probably exist, but are they mainstream? No way. So what? Oh, they found absolutely nothing. So two guys were in a militia group. Sure. All right, militia groups exist. But they weren't removed from the National Guard. They were removed from the Capitol building. All right. Sure. Okay, fine. But then when doing an intense investigation, sounds like a lot of wasted money, if you ask me, they found absolutely nothing. Well, what a surprise. Let's read on. The screening, Major General William Walker told ABC News, was enhanced with more screening, more details, and it's layered so the FBI is a part of it. The Secret Service is part of it, and once they are certain that there's no insider threat, then that soldier, guardsman, or airman is given a credential. What does this sound familiar? How does this sound familiar? Yeah, authoritarian world. Right. That's what it is. It's an authoritarian world. Do you think the way we want? Good. You're allowed. Oh, do you not? You're out. Look at this. The Democrats pledged to fight a Trump rule ensuring banks won't refuse service to conservatives. Trump set in place a rule that said banks can't, refuse you if you're a conservative or a Republican or a Trump supporter, for example. Well, Democrats pledged to fight that? What? Do you realize what that means? So the Democrats are trying to make it so that if you're a Republican or conservative or a Trump supporter, I'll lump it all into one, whatever, you can get denied. No bank loan for you. You supported President Trump. This is the beginning here. No, it began a long time ago. Who am I kidding? This is them ramping up, becoming more and more blatant about it. Mayor Bowser, wow, we need to vet all these people. Okay, they did it and they didn't find anything. Well, do you think that changed her mind as far as trusting the National Guard? Probably not. Probably not. She probably still thinks that they're infiltrated somehow, that, it's some sort of an issue. This is crazy right here. This is them saying, if you are a Republican, if you're a conservative, you're on our list. AOC called for lists before the election, or after the election. I don't remember exactly when she called for lists, but they're calling for lists. It's a thing. People make jokes about the gulag, but it's, what do they think's going to happen? They're trying to, it's almost like they want people to get violent so that they have more of a reason to put people in a internment camp. It's becoming very, 1930s, late 1930s Germany, where they're rounding up a group of people, cutting them off, blaming everything on them, cutting them off from being able to be part of society. I mean, it's pretty messed up, if you ask me.